Welcome back to the channel. My name is Thomas Fletcher and I'm the host of the LCSW and the Military Social Work Networks. If you're new to both of my channels, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, by subscribing to the channels, and by sharing this video with your social work colleagues and friends. The purpose of both of these channels is to create a community of hope and support where social workers can come for relevant news, information, and inspiration. Welcome back to Ask a Military Social Worker. So in today's show, we will be answering the following question. What do field grade social workers do in the reserve component of the U.S. Army? I've got great news, guys. Yours truly was just recently selected for promotion to field grade. So in December, it'll be about 14 years since I've been serving in the reserve component of the U.S. Army as a 73 Alpha social worker. So that's why I'm covering today's topic. What do field grade social workers do in the reserve component of the U.S. Army? So if you ever wondered what happens after you promote beyond captain in the 73 Alpha career field, or what it means to be a major or lieutenant colonel social worker in the reserve component, this episode is for you. So in the first segment of this video, we're going to cover the basics. So first, what does field grade even mean? In the Army, field grade refers to ranks of major, or 04, lieutenant colonel, which is 05, and colonel, which is 06. For Army social workers, or 73 Alphas, reaching these grades means your role shifts significantly. You move from direct clinical practice to leadership, policy, and supervision responsibilities. In the active duty world, field grade social workers often serve as behavioral health officers in brigade level units, division consultants, or medical operations officers. But in the reserve component, things look a bit different. Reserve social workers typically serve part-time, 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year, yet their impact and scope of responsibility remain huge. So in segment 2, we are going to discuss leadership in behavioral health units. So many reserve field grade 73 Alphas are assigned to Combat Operations Stress Control, otherwise known as COSC, C-O-S-C, detachments, medical detachments, or field hospitals. In these roles, they provide leadership over behavioral health officers, NCOs, and enlisted behavioral health specialists. For example, a major in a COSC unit might serve as the officer in charge of a behavioral health team, overseeing readiness, clinical supervision, and deployment planning. A lieutenant colonel, on the other hand, may serve as the detachment commander or deputy commander for clinical services in a larger unit, responsible for the overall behavioral health mission, policy compliance, and officer development. So even though reserve service is part-time, these officers are shaping behavioral health readiness for hundreds, sometimes thousands of soldiers. All right, in segment 3, we're going to cover staff roles and strategic impact. So field grade 73 Alphas also play critical staff roles. They may serve as behavioral health consultants to higher headquarters, like a medical command or deployment support, or regional support command, advising on mental health readiness, suicide prevention, and resilience programs. They may also contribute to policy development, helping align reserve behavioral health programs with the active component and Defense Health Agency initiatives. Essentially, they become strategic connectors, bridging clinical practice with military policy. All All right, in segment 4, we're going to discuss mentorship and force development. So one of the most rewarding and sometimes overlooked parts of being a field grade social worker is mentorship. At this stage, your focus shifts from direct care to developing the next generation. Field grade 73 alphas mentor captains, enlisted behavioral health techs, and even civilian social workers who serve in dual status positions. They model Army values, guide officers through promotions and credentialing, and ensure clinical standards are upheld across the force. Many field grade social workers also teach, whether it's through regional training institutes, Army Medical Department or AMED courses, or as guest instructors at military or civilian universities. In segment number 5, we're going to discuss balancing civilian and military careers. Now here's where the reserve difference really shows. Many reserve field grade social workers hold full-time civilian positions, often as clinical directors, VA leaders, professors, or private practitioners. Balancing those roles with military leadership can be challenging, but also incredibly fulfilling. You get to bring real-world experience into the Army, while also taking Army leadership lessons back to your civilian practice. This dual identity makes reserve social workers uniquely adaptable and mission-focused. All right, so here's some closing thoughts. So to sum it up, field grade social workers in the Army Reserve are not just clinicians. They are leaders, strategists, mentors, and force multipliers. They ensure behavioral health care in the reserve is not only available, but effective, even for soldiers who may only wear the uniform a few days a month. If you're a social worker interested in military service, or a junior 73 Alpha thinking about your next steps, I hope this gives you a clearer picture of what leadership can look like in the reserve component. And I just want to add a few more thoughts to this video. I've seen, even though I prepared this, I've seen everything that I just, read to you guys. I've seen 73 alphas that have served as a commander for a COSC. Matter of fact, I serve in a COSC right now, and our last commander in the COSC was a 73 Alpha Lieutenant Colonel. I've also served with 73 Alphas that have served as officers in charge of behavioral health teams in the COSC. So this is not just theory. What I shared in today's video, actually I've seen it, I've experienced it in my own career. I am excited to be moving into a field grade 73 Alpha position within a COSC. So I will keep you guys updated with my continuing career development, as a 73 Alpha in the reserve component of the U.S. Army. And I also want to invite you to share your experiences as well as your questions. I know there may be some of you out there that have already been serving as field grade social workers. Matter of fact, I'll share one more, anecdote, that I've witnessed in my career. So over the years, I had the opportunity to serve with 73 Alpha. She went on to she actually became the clinical director of behavioral health for the NGB, National Guard Bureau. This is a close friend, colleague that I've served with over the past 14 years. I worked with her in the VA as well as served with her in the National Guard in California. And I got to watch her, go to DC to be the leader, the national leader for behavioral health for the National Guard Bureau. So you know, and at the time when she got that job, she was a major. She's since gone on to, she's a lieutenant colonel now. But again, it is possible to do these really high level things as a field grade 73 Alpha or social worker. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. For all the social workers and other licensed mental health professionals, thank you for the work that you do every day, for your clients, for your agency, and for the profession. Please continue to support each other and yourselves. Bye for now.